All right, boys. You know we had to do it, as we are going to be trying LR Merlin versus all of the demonic beasts in the game. I know, man, it's crazy, man, but we had to do it for her. Like, I did it even for LR Bond, so you know we had to go for her. And again, I kind of have high hopes for this character because I've been really enjoying her in PvP, and she's definitely seeming like a high DPS character, so she's definitely going to have a really nice time fulfilling a lot of that DPS role in the PVE activities versus the demonic beasts. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you guys like and subscribe again for more fun content, and let's see how this Merlin do. All right, so you already know what it is, man, as we are going to pretty much do LR Merlin versus all of the demonic beasts. Usually when it comes to the LR characters, I have done recently, because they made them so good, I have done these videos where I take them on all of the demonic beasts and see how well the characters kind of compete against kind of the hardest difficulty in the game. Now again, LR Merlin, or kind of the recent LRs that the Netmarble have been releasing, have been actually really good, which is very nice, because again, we had that one pretty much streak of last year where pretty much they was just releasing the worst LRs imaginable. Like, we had like LR Gallon, LR Glocks, just pretty much useless LRs that pretty much only had usability in like PvE activities. But recently they have been actually making LRs that have been able to really compete in the either PvP and also PvE, which kind of gave us, which they are kind of giving us the whole kind of reason of making LRs. Like, this is supposed to be like the easy A of these older characters. Like if you play Dokkan and stuff like that, you know, this is supposed to allow the older characters to be revived into the meta to become more useful. All right, because again, it comes a time where whenever you've been progressing through the game and stuff or story like that, you obviously collect older characters, and again, with these older characters, they kind of don't have no usability at all in the game. All they do is collect dust. So when you have the whole system of LRs kind of trying to revive these characters, you want these characters to be at least usable to players. And that's what I always had a complaint about, is that the LRs that they did release, like the LR Escanors, the LR Glocks, again, they wasn't like useful, but they was usable. All right, so it's kind of nice to see that these characters are now being more so useful for your box rather than, you know, just, you know, usable. Because again, I know a lot of people, whenever I had complaints about LRs, they used to be like, yo man, they didn't say like, yo, like these LRs are supposed to be characters that are going to be good in the meta and stuff like that. But you know, when you have an LR system, you want the characters to at least be, you know, useful, rather than, you know, you can just use the character. Like LR Glocks, obviously he's not terrible, but you know, he only has pretty much been useful in like one activity, which is going to be like Ratatasker if you don't have the new Jormungandr. But you really don't really see him anything other than you know, niche activities, some of these LRs. Okay, so this one I'm gonna stop rambling and we're gonna go into the 4th floor. Now we are taking Merlin to the 4th floor of the demonic bird, because she is unknown and she does own a Power Strike card, which if you remember, Power Strike is one of the cards that will allow you to get rid of the immortality buffs that he gets on phase 3. So again, we just progressing through the 4th floor, and you see Merlin is dealing high amounts of damage. Again, when you combine her having that AoE with a flood, you can start seeing she's gonna hit pretty hard. And again, she also has it where she gets crit damage per unknown skill that gets used. I think maximum up to 3 times. You get like 40% crit damage, so you get a whopping 120% crit damage for your character. And obviously when it comes to her passive and stuff like that, the more remaining HP she has and stuff like that, the harder she's gonna hit. So if you keep pretty much getting full HP on your Merlin, you're gonna deal a lot of damage pretty easily. Not to also mention that she does have a Power Strike card, which Power Strike versus boss, I activities is always super powerful. And again, I've been really loving this Merlin. Again, this I felt like has been pretty much peak Grand Cross at the moment, where it feel like there's no true one meta team. And this is what I've been hoping for a very long time, that they kind of got back into, is that they are now making characters or team-based race characters more viable. All right, it's not them they just buffing one character here and there and stuff like that. It's like there be sometimes where they do like 2 characters in a row where it's one race, right? But sometimes it just be like a sport character and stuff like that. Right now they are doing races that kind of giving a little bit of viability to other teams and stuff like that. Like we see a whole resurgence with Goddess team. Hear me out, Goddess team, a team that people was literally a Nidhogg team, is now getting viability in PvP, bro. That is insane. We have demon teams for players who still rocking the cringe demon team, are still using demons to pretty much beat people in PvP. And now we have the new LR Merlin, and guess what? She revived the unknown team. Now again, you can probably say like, yo, Marilli, unknown team doesn't really have UR characters that are useful, which is true. They do not have a useful UR character, so you're probably gonna be underwhelming with CC. But again, you have LR characters which have not terrible CC, but they have really good CC. If you are a person who can compete or have high boxing, you can out CC a lot of players with, which I definitely done. Again, because you can say the same thing about the fairy team, right? Like the fairy team had like a whole bunch of LR characters where you have LR King, LR Glocks, and you have one character, UR character being Lancelot to fill in that gap, and they CC wasn't even that crazy or anything like that. So it's like, do I really mind that the unknown team, if you are gonna rock unknown, is featuring 2 LR characters? I really don't, especially because you could use like a UR character like a Sobnuk or UR Gother. Again, the only complaint is that they don't really have a newer UR character, which newer UR characters are usually super broken. So whenever they do get a newer UR character, maybe that could even push the unknown team further. But again, like I said before, I'm really enjoying kind of PvP as it is right now, where there's no one god tier team. You can use multiple teams. You can even use humans with the new and right now, bro. And I just love it that PvP is now feeling a lot more, you know, variety. I am appreciating that PvP is feeling a lot more variety, because again, it's reminding me of those old Grand Cross, where it was like during the time where you had like Reinhardt and stuff like that, where it was like, yo, you use the what was it, the Reinhardt team, which is like the mono red team or something like that, or you would use dang, the unknown team. I forget who was on the unknown team. I think it was Infinity Merlin, or you had the Sins players and stuff like that. Like, you know, it was just so much options to use in PvP. Because again, I feel like with Netmarble, they just really held themselves back, especially because they always just release like mediocre characters, and I feel like they finally are getting into the bag where they are releasing useful characters. All right, we don't want to see a knighthood boss character. We don't want to see these PVE based characters. We want you to make a character that is broken, that could help us in multiple activities, man. Like, you know, LR Millim is good in PvP and PvE. Why? Because again, she doesn't have a restricted passive limiting herself to just one activity. All right, and those are the type of characters we want to see in the game. Again, it's just unfortunate that pretty much Grand Cross is pretty much Yu-Gi-Oh, a new school Yu-Gi-Oh, where every character to be viable has to have like an essay of a passive, and sometimes they have a passive inside of their ultimates. So you go from their passive and then you gotta go to their ultimate to read the other half of their passive again. Like, it's kind of sad and unfortunate, but unless pretty much the devs kind of say, yo man, we're gonna reset the game in terms of, yo, since we're in the 4 Nights of Apocalypse storyline, you can only use 4 Nights of Apocalypse for this, I don't know, PvP or something like that. I don't know. Like, there's no type of reset in terms of the game. So if you are a person who is lacking and behind in the game, you're going to struggle when it comes to PvP or getting into the game, right? Because again, that's the whole issue that players have always had when it came to Grand Cross, is that it's hard to start, but it's easier when you're at the end, right? Like me, I am an end game player. I feel like I'm pretty much at the end of pretty much the game itself. Because again, if you don't know, I did a video where, you know, I reached like 18 mil box CC, and pretty much that's like the 1%, right? The 1% of players. So most of the time in my videos and stuff like that, I don't really have to do too much to out CC players and stuff like that. I don't really have to do too much in terms of tanking hits, because again, I'm like the 1% of players, and that's from me just pretty much grinding. Again, how old is Grand Cross right now on JP? I think 6 years, 6 or 5 years, going to the anniversary. And I've been a day one player, so I've been always progressing and grinding my account. Now again, people might say, yo, I'm really well, but again, you gotta understand, when I play the game, we didn't really have quality of life like we do right now. Like I feel like this is like the best time to play Grand Cross in terms of the quality of life that you gain while playing it. Now, do I recommend playing Grand Cross right now? No, because again, it is a lot of, it's kind of a veteran game at this point. Like, it's just for veteran players or in-game players at this moment, if you want to enjoy yourself. If you're a person who just want to like casually play the game, then this game is probably going to be good for you. But if you're a person who really trying to like get into Grand Cross, like compete and stuff like that, I definitely cannot recommend it. All right, again, if you want to enjoy yourself or play casually, definitely go for Grand Cross. It's very chill, a lot of grinding. But if you're a person who's trying to compete, you will suffer, because again, there's just so much stuff you just have to grind in the game. You just have to grind, and it could be kind of annoying having to focus on having so many things that you have to focus on, because again, you have to question yourself, like, yo, what do I focus on first and stuff like that. And again, it can become very overwhelming for players, which is why Grand Cross has been very stagnant. Like, we still make millions of dollars and stuff like that, but in terms of new player retention and stuff like that, it's been very hard. Like, again, you see in terms of this recent festival update, they've been starting to do more so VTuber live streams, sponsor videos and stuff like that, because again, they are trying to get new players, so they are tapping into VTubers to kind of like promote the game and stuff like that, which VTubers is a huge audience, man. Like you can say whatever you want about VTubers being cringy and stuff like that, or ew, but it is a very huge audience for Grand Cross to tap into, and hopefully those type of strategies will work out, or if not, then, you know, it don't work out, you know. Because if it doesn't work out, then, you know, always, you know, shout out to the VTubers getting to the bag, man. Like, because if it was me, man, I would definitely appreciate the bag in terms of like promoting Grand Cross and stuff like that. Because from what I've seen, bro, they be getting like 18 mil boxy to account, bro. Like, I don't know if they actually played the game, or they get kind of like a pre-made account and stuff like that. But I kid you not, yo, like these people be having, VTubers be having like 18 mil boxy to account. You be sitting there like, wait, what? Like you just heard me say like 18 mil boxy to like the 1% of players. Like, how the heck these VTubers got 18 mil boxy to accounts? I ain't never seen them play Grand Cross before. Man, I mean, I feel like I'm doing a lot of rambling, but you know, it's just that seeing how well Number have been doing in terms of LRs, has been just so refreshing, man. Because again, like the whole, cause so many players were just so hype for LRs. I mean, they was so hype for LRs when it was first announced, just because what they thought when we thought of LRs, we was thinking like, yo, we're gonna see characters like Blue Demon Henderson get buffed up crazy, or maybe you might see a crazy high CC Twiggo and he becomes god tier. Like, we had so many crazy thoughts in our head when it came to like LRs. It was just like limited potential. But obviously, I think the whole downfall of LRs has become from them releasing pretty much mediocre LRs, and they are kind of fixing their mistake and actually putting some thoughts into these LRs and making them pretty much useful. Again, they're not super broken, not Chet, but they are very, very useful. Again, I think the whole issue right now with Netmarble has in terms of the game, and from my experience, is definitely there's multiple things, but I feel like it's like the uses of LRs, like they need to make more LRs, right? But again, you know, LRs take time to think of like what they do, how this character could affect the game if possible, because you know you don't want another LR Milim situation, so that kind of gotta take a minute in terms of building LRs. I think Holy Relics, that's a big issue because they do not release Holy Relics fast enough, and when it comes to the demonic beasts and stuff like that, it really drags the game in terms of content, because Holy Relics is also supposed to be another way of reviving a character, and unfortunately when it comes to Holy Relics, they release them so slow. We could get like one Holy Relic for like 4 or 5 months, bro. So you basically saying like in a whole year you're probably getting 2 or 3 Holy Relics. Like, that should not be the case. when they drop in a character every 2 weeks, so they're getting like 20 characters a goddamn year, but you're releasing only 2 Holy Relics reviving characters. And yeah, I feel like Holy Relics is definitely one issue. I think also the PVE content, like, I ain't gonna lie, like the newest what's it called, the tower, or what's it called, the defense thing, the one they stole from idols. I ain't gonna lie, that game mode is garbage. I ain't gonna lie, that game mode definitely needs a lot of improvements. It took a minute for me to kind of figure out how to like really do the game mode. Like, I didn't know like if you just swipe the gear all the way to the bottom, you get to like delete the gear, or you know, sell the gear at that point. I was just like, wait, what? You could do this? So I failed my first one because I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you just get the gear and then whatever gear you get shafted, and that was it. I didn't know you could sell the gear. So it was like weird how they never even like showed you really, or kind of better explained it. Like, dang, like could you like not put like a sell option on the bottom or something, or you know, it was crazy, man. But I did defeat it. I went all 100 floors and stuff like that. At first I beat it with the goddess team, and then I heard people really talking about how Xeno was kind of like broken from Tower of God, broken on the event. So I tried Xeno, and I'm not gonna lie, he was actually cooking in all of the floors. Like, I beat it with the human team featuring Xeno. Obviously the only thing, like the thing that you gotta do is, when it comes to characters who proc a shield up first turn, what you want to do is boost up your character attack by a lot. So that's why characters like Marilli, if you see these videos using the defense or whatever it's called, the new activity, they are running attack sets on Meliodas, and that's because Meliodas gets his shield, and that shield is based on his attack. So if you have like a full attack geared Ellie, your shield is gonna be a lot stronger in that PVE activity. Same with Xeno as well. Like, you run like a full attack Xeno, not only does he hit super hard, but you also get a shield. And again, that's the one thing you gotta like really pay attention to when it comes to activity. So it's like the shield character. The shield characters are really good, and it'd be kind of interesting to see if they improve upon that activity, which they could. They definitely could, because you gotta understand, like Labyrinth wasn't Labyrinth had the same thing, in which like the activity wasn't as great. Wait, why am I lying? Like the first time doing Labyrinth, that stuff was super easy, bruh. I think what was it, like Light Escanor, where you could get like Light Escanor and then you get like a crazy human buff and you get to just one turn the whole thing. Or was that the one where you could cheese with like a Summer Merlin? I think the first one was with you can cheese with Summer Merlin and you could attack seal everything. So if you was a person who had Summer Merlin in your box, you kind of had like easy mode when it came to the Labyrinth. And I feel like this was going to happen with the Lioness Defense. Is they gonna definitely improve it, especially for the players who couldn't beat it. Because it is hard if you don't have like specific characters. And it's RNG based too, which I already know. A lot of players hate RNG based activities. I'm the same way, where RNG based activities are pretty much garbage. I just love how I've been just rambling and I'm just letting the gameplay just play through. Cause like we all know how Nidhogg work, all right? And when it comes to Merlin isn't going to be a best character for Nidhogg, of course. Like Merlin is definitely, from what I've seen, it's going to be bird and deer. Cause that's where Unknown thrives the most at, is bird and deer. Obviously you saw me on dog clear it pretty fast, but that's because it's the dogs, all right? Everybody clear the dogs pretty fast. So that's gonna be the two activities or two demonic beasts you really want to run Merlin in. Everything else is just for the funds. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like everything else I'm doing is just for the content's sake and just having fun using that character. Because if I was actually a person who wants to play the game for real, I would definitely not use Merlin on Nidhogg at all. Like I'm gonna just keep my Mael, corrupted Mael goddess team and let that be. Because again, that team is really cracked for that game mode. But again, Merlin is fun. You know, we can't hate on a fun character, right? Like we will take fun. Cause it's nice to see these characters like pop off. So I mean, I want to say sorry for anybody who expected me to just talk about what is happening on the game. But I'm very passionate whenever I speak about grandcross sometimes, because again, you know, you want the best for the game. It's the same thing when I used to just talk about corrupted Mayo and that he was coming and stuff like that. Like people would be in the comments like, yo, Marilli, yo, another clickbait video, yo, Mayo is never coming, or something like that in my comment section and stuff like that. So when Mayo finally got pretty much announced to come, bro, I sorry, man. Like I had to gloat in that video, man. I had to gloat because, bro, it was so many players who was just saying, like, people thinking like, yo, I'm talking about just my comments in my YouTube video. No, people was tagging me on Discord too. All right, telling me like, yo, Marilli, why you clickbaiting, man? Mayo is never coming. It's gonna be a paraplegic Gother or something. And I'm just saying, like, bro, if Marvel is bring back Holy War Festival, already dead, like SDS story is gone. SDS story is done for. If they are bringing back Holy War Festival, it's going to be something that was meaningful, something that was going to be excited and hype. And what's not hype but to see corrupted Mael, super hype character. And guess what ended up happening? With a week of me just promoting corrupted Mael is coming, corrupted Mael is coming, we got corrupted Mael, and I love it, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes you just got, you know, some of you got to just sit and watch how people act and interact with your videos and stuff like that. Because again, people don't know, man. Like, people must have forgot. Like, I got connects when it comes to grandcross. All right, like I know CM Go personally. I know him personally, y'all. So when people thought I didn't know what I was talking about when it came to corrupting my ult, I just sat back and laughed. Also, again, if you guys don't know, usually on the Ratatasker, I only do one floor. But you guys can always comment down below if you want to see me do the full 1 through 3 floors with Merlin versus the Ratatasker. It's just the only reason why I don't do all the rest of the floors on Ratatasker is because anything can work on Ratatasker at the moment. Again, you have Jormungandr, which is the newest character. And I mean, anything can work on a Ratatasker, so it gets boring. Especially when you got to deal with the gimmicks. It's like the longest one. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Again, make sure you guys like and subscribe again for more content. This is Marilli, guys, and I'm out. And enjoy my yapping. Oh, man.